We are halfway through the Elite Eight, just under halfway. And some of the vans are starting to kick it into another gear. It's been really exciting watching certain vans really step it up. We got a no-show or two in there as well. Some vans that still have a shot at pulling back into this, and a real close barn burner going down as well. So let's get into it. I'm also going to go through four of our vans today, talk about how each of the individuals are performing. We'll go to the other four vans tomorrow, assuming all these vans give me some pictures to go off of. And then I might have a little hint at the end for you of what you can look forward to in the coming months. But let's get on with it. We are pulling away in Rochester here. Bozeman has not shown up the way that they need to be able to compete at this level. They're great performance so far from Bozeman, but they just haven't brought it. So I'm assuming they're going to kick it back into gear, but they might be a little bit too late to do so to be able to catch up with Rochester and what Ryan Anderson has going up there right now. They're at 23 leads over Bozeman's 7. Eugene, too, with a bit of a slow start Monday. They only had 9, but they came out with 12 yesterday. But Reading's been just tacking on a few leads to every day. So Reading is up by 9, sitting at 30. Reading slowed down a little bit compared to the pace they were on last week, but still pretty good performance. Tucson and Eugene won. Eugene won. Came out on fire. That Monday shootout between those guys was incredible. They dropped down yesterday to 9. So if they need to get back on track, they're not out of it. Tucson can occasionally have a bad day, not very often, but if they do, you need to be able to be in a position to capitalize and eat up as much of that lead as you can when they do. So still got some faith that Eugene can throw up some numbers. Will Tucson slow down? I doubt it, but anything's possible at this point. And then you got Bremerton and Oklahoma City in our shootout of all shootouts. Nate has been the fourth quarter hero here so far. They've been tacking it on the last hour and a half or so of the day is when Bremerton's catching up every single day. So it's been really fun to watch this one. And this one's probably going to go down to the wire, but Eddie is one of our most consistent leaders out there with his van performance. So excited to see where this one heads to. But let's talk about some of our individual vans. I'm going to go through one in each of these matchups. We're going to start with our van that has 23 leads out here in Rochester, Minnesota. Now there's a couple different angles. Ryan looks differently in different cameras. So the one in the top right is how he looks when he's in Montana, and the one on the left is how he looks when he's in Minnesota. So just wanted to make sure that didn't confuse anybody. I know that was a question this week. But if you look at the Rochester van, 3 elite performers there, and Alexis coming along as well with 12 leads. But you got 37, 36, and 38, well-balanced van. Once Ryan gets a team fully built, this is a fairly new van, keep in mind. Once he gets his, the 5th person like this, the 6th person, this is an unbeatable van at a certain point, but he's just got to make sure that we get the full van. We got to get the sales built up to be able to get everybody paid and stuff. But excellent job out of Rochester. And Ryan, just remember when you were complaining about your seed because you thought I gave you a bad draw at the beginning of all this, and you're going to end up in the final 4 here, as long as Bozeman doesn't go bananas and you fall apart in the next few days. So great job, Rochester. That van's coming along nicely. Excited to see where they continue to progress to and if they can compete here in the final 4. Our next van, Oklahoma City. They are like clockwork producing 10 to 15 leads a day. And you see why. Look at this van. Look at the spread of people, and all of them are going to hit their minimum standard for the month by a good, considerable margin. All of them. 7 people. I don't know if there's another van in the company that's doing that with 7 people consistently performing across the board. What does that allow? Well, if somebody calls in sick, you're still going to perform as a van. If 2 people call in sick, you're still going to perform as a van because maybe those other guys pick it up a little bit, right? It gives you flexibility. It's also going to give them a great bench to draw from in the future for CMITs, who's going to open the second van, all that. So they're at our favorite, Canvas's favorite eating spot. This March Madness should be sponsored by Denny's, but this picture of Oklahoma City here at Denny's, Jordan Horsch, of course, he's going to get in every picture. So you spot Jordan. Where's Waldo? Where's Jordan? Every picture at DeBella, you'll find Jordan in the corner somewhere. So Great job, Oklahoma City. You got a fight on your hands with Bremerton, though, so I'm excited to see where that one goes. Our next van, last year's champ, Reading. You see, I couldn't get a picture from because they're always training, so they don't even want to face the camera for me. But this group, you've got some people that are growing and pushing there. So you got a lot of newer names. If you've been around for a while, Reading was the same 4 to 5 people for a long, long time. Now all those people have spread out. They're all drivers, right? In Placerville and San Diego, all over the place. So now you've got newer people who have been trained up to the same elite standard very quickly. This has all happened very recently. So excellent performance. Malachi, he was one of our standouts on the Saturday call-in show that we did. You got Tyler always at the top of the leaderboard. Seth, the driver, he's only got 8 because he's busy dropping all these people off, right? Have you be aware though, that's one of the better canvassers we've ever had. So I'm pretty sure that final 4 week, that's probably going to peak up pretty quickly. You're going to see a lot of these drivers prove just how big of a badass they are in that final 4 week and try to drag their team to victory. That's one I know can put up a big ass number. So we'll see where this goes to. But fantastic job on the rebuild down there, Seth. I know it hasn't been super easy, and there were a couple months where you were probably frustrated, but incredible to see where you're at this point. Great job. Moving on to the last one that we're going to talk about here today. And that's my guy, Jake from State Farm, Jake Vidal in Eugene 1. Another full van, great performance across the board from everybody, right? You have a few higher performers here or there than you saw in Oklahoma City, but still excellent consistency from A to Z across the board here. This is how you get that consistent, repeated performance. Jake's one of our better NIS vans that you're going to see. He gets bonus every damn month. He's got a great relationship in the sales staff there, and you can see how it pays off for him, right? Very, and they've kicked it into another gear here. It's been super impressive. I know he was out last March and wasn't able to fully participate. But this year, it's been really cool to see some of these vans step up that were always better vans, but weren't as visible, weren't as vocal in the chats, weren't as elite, weren't doing this is what they were doing. So that's what March is all about. We're trying to unlock some of this potential within people and get them to really, be as good as they can be and figure out what that is and what that feels like and try to replicate it again in April, May, and June, right? So I got something that might help us do that. As we're all competing here, I want you to keep in mind, if you're in the consolation bracket, if you're in the final 4, if you're about to get knocked out, if you already got knocked out, whatever it is, this competition thing's been pretty fun, and I think everybody's enjoying it a little bit. So we're going to keep it going. I got something fun that we're going to launch in April. I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but I hope you're ready. I hope you're preparing. I hope you're training. I hope you're hiring, and I hope you're motivating, because the battle for the belt starts in 2 weeks. See you soon.